Alright, what's up, guys? Week 1 is finally here. Real football is finally here.
Yeah, man. We have finally reached that fucking bridge. After miles and miles and hours and days and months of reaching, we have finally reached that bridge. And we are here. Week 1 is finally here. Holy shit, man. Football is...
Obviously, we face... I don't mean to cut you off, but finally we face the Cleveland Browns.
Cleveland Browns, man.
Week 1.
You know, this is obviously something that we have been looking forward to for a very long time, basically ever since the schedule was announced. And it is finally here, man. We got literally 5 days, if I'm counting correctly. 5 days till Steelers football, man. Now, of course, we got 2 more days until we get the Falcons and Eagles, which we are excited for, but this is a fucking Steelers channel. We're talking more about the fucking Steelers, man.
Exactly.
Steelers and Browns this fucking weekend. And we are extremely excited for it, but we're obviously going to put that to the side and address the elephant in the room.
Le'Veon Bell.
Le'Veon motherfucking Bell.
Because there's been reports how he has yet to show up at the Steelers facility. He has yet to practice with the players and the entire team.
Right.
He still has yet to show up.
And he very well could still show up later this week and maybe even before the Browns game, but who really fucking knows at this point?
Exactly.
And can you really trust him to show up at this point?
Exactly. I mean, if you're going to focus... if you're going to be ready and you're going to say you're going to show up for week 1, why aren't you going to show up for the first day of practice?
Exactly. And here's the thing. I have a tweet here from Le'Veon Bell, and this was from when the deadline, when we negotiated with Bell, you know, that deadline where we, because we franchise tagged him.
When we tried to sign him long term, I think it was 5 years for, 70 mil? 4 years, 70 mil?
Yeah, and I have the tweet here. To all my, and I quote, "To all my Steelers fans, my desire always has been to retire a Steeler. Both sides worked extremely hard today to make that happen, but the NFL is a hard business at times. To the fans that had hope, I'm sorry we let you down, but trust me, 2018, which is this year, by the way, if you guys aren't counting, will be my best season to date." Where the fuck are you? You say that you want to retire a Steeler. You say that 2018 will be your best season to date.
But yet you have yet to show up to the facility.
And doing that is really making those two statements hard to fucking come to fruition.
He hasn't even told anybody yet, according to reports. You know, he hasn't told anybody when he's going to show up.
Yeah.
So that's the thing right here. He's not even alerting. He's not even telling his coaches. It's not even the players.
Right, and remember, like we said, this tweet was after the deadline that we had to sign Bell, which we offered 4 or 5 years. I believe it was 5 years for $70 million. And apparently, now I don't know if this was completely confirmed, but apparently, he was supposed to receive $45 million in his first 3 years. And if you guys failed at math, or if you guys didn't fail math, you guys would know that that is $15 million a fucking year in his first 3 years, which is around
quite freaking enough for a running back.
Which is around the range that he asked for, and he turned it down. So what the fuck does he really want? What is his plan?
And can you go back to the tweet? I want to say something real quick. He said right here, the NFL is a hard business at times. How is the NFL a hard business if you're being hard to cooperate with a contract?
Exactly. The past few years.
He says, I'm sorry we let you down. More like you let us down with not signing a contract extension with the Steelers. You say you want to retire, but you won't take a freaking $70 million contract with the Steelers, which is probably 30 plus more than what Devontae Freeman of the Atlanta Falcons is getting.
At that point, of course, before Gurley signed that big contract.
Right, of course, but still, it's beyond freaking ridiculous.
Yeah, right, and honestly, at this point, I couldn't care less about Bell at this point. I don't give a... Trade him. I'm going to say right here, fucking trade him.
We've been saying that, you know, ever since, you know, these reports have come out and he didn't sign the extension. If we're not going to sign... Because I said this, you know, during one of our streams, you know... I said if we're not going to come to a deal this year, we're not coming to a deal whatsoever, because I don't think the Steelers are going to up their price. We're
definitely not. And the fact that we offered him $70 million and he turned it down, and after Gurley got that big contract, he's only going to ask for more, and we ain't got it.
Exactly. We're not going to have that money. If we do sign him long term with the money that we could potentially negotiate with him if he agrees, how are we going to sign anybody else?
Yeah.
Like, seriously,
we just signed Boswell. We signed Vince Williams to long-term. But what about Joe Hayden? His contract's up in about 2 years.
What about Ramon Foster? This is his last year in his contract.
Exactly.
Like, how are we going to
Dupree's-
sign other playmakers? Maybe even Bud Dupree potentially.
if he performs well. But remember, we exercised his 5th-year option, so he's making over $9 million next year.
But
so.
still, Le'Veon Bell, it's like I could really care to fuck less about Le'Veon Bell right now. I really hope that we trade him.
There are 2 options that we have with Bell. Either we retract from the franchise tag, which would be great because we could use that $14.5 million tremendously.
Right.
Or we wait until Bell signs his tag, which we have no idea when that will be, and we trade him immediately after. Who do we trade him to? I have a few options. This is something that Bobby and I have discussed ever since yesterday. And this is something I've discussed on Twitter, and you know, I've been making the case for it for a while. Le'Veon Bell for Jordan fucking Howard. Matt Nagy has already said that Howard doesn't really seem to fit his system, to fit his scheme, and have someone like Le'Veon Bell could very well fit that scheme, and Howard with us. I mean, it's a beautiful fucking trade.
And you see
it's
how
a win-win situation.
and you see how Howard has done with the Bears with a decent offensive line. Imagine what he's going to do with our offensive
Exactly,
line.
and he's young as fuck, dude.
Exactly.
And he has no drama issues whatsoever, and he's cheaper.
Exactly.
So it's a win-win
Exactly.
situation,
And
and
like
Bell
you
gets his fucking
and
money.
like you said, he's young, and I want to point this out. If we sign Bell long term, he's probably only going to have like 2 or 3 years left in his prime.
Exactly, and that
Because you look at other great running backs like LaDainian Tomlinson or Marshall Falk or
even Adrian Peterson. Look
or
at him now.
or Eric Dickerson. You know, before they reached their 30s or around 30 years old, they didn't perform to the caliber level that they used to.
Of course,
when they were
because running backs have short careers. So do
Exactly.
you want to give this motherfucker all this money only for him to decrease in about a year or 2?
And trading Bell to the Bears for Jordan Howard, who was a great running back. He is a great running back in himself. He's a lot younger and cheaper. Would be perfect for this team and this offense.
Of course. Now, other options we have, and this is something that we've have been pushing as well, and this is just a win-win completely because the Bucs need a running back and we need a tight end. Yes, Le'Veon Bell for O.J. motherfucking Howard.
Now
because,
that I would fucking
because Cameron Brate, he just signed what, a 6-year contract. O.J. Howard's gonna be the number 2. He really has no fit. Remember,
Exactly.
he was a first-round pick for the Bucs.
love. Exactly.
And he has no fit at this point because he's the number 2. And now they could run 2 tight end schemes, but I don't really see the Bucs doing that too much,
Right,
especially
exactly.
with their weak coaching staff. So, and of course Bell and the Bucs need. Now they have Ronald Jones, but imagine Bell and Ronald Jones together,
Exactly. A dynamic,
running back,
there.
and that takes a lot of pressure off of Winston as well.
Yeah, if we don't decide to go for O.J. Howard because you know how the Steelers love Vance McDonald so much, we could also try to get Quan Alexander, an inside linebacker that
Exactly.
could really help this team.
And speaking of inside linebacker, we could go after him, which I would love, or we could go after a Darren Lee.
Of the Jets, yeah, we could probably get maybe their 2nd or 3rd round pick in Darren Lee.
Yeah,
And Darren Lee has that Ohio State connection with Ryan Shazier, and he's got that sideline-to-sideline speed.
yeah, he's got that Buckeye connection that the
And
Steelers
if
love as well.
And if you think about it, he's not really going to play a lot because the Jets signed Avery Williamson.
Yeah, now I don't know if they run a 3-4 or 4-3. Either way, I don't really know. But I think plus every team that we have just listed about potential trade offers need running backs.
Exactly.
So it really fits.
It would be great. It could be really a win-win for each team that we trade for.
Exactly. You know, it would help. It would benefit everyone involved, especially Bell because he go and get his money, and he's definitely not getting with us. Now, it all depends if we are willing to trade him because we don't know. Now, if we are not. And he does sign a tag, which I don't know when that'll be. Nor do I think anyone else does, except Bell, of course. What I would do is I would use him the most that I can. You know, I get the most out of him as possible because this is his final year. He's taking a pretty penny from us this year, and this is his final year. There's no way we're resigning him.
Right.
Nor
exactly.
do I think we should now. Do I want us to resign him? Kind of. You know, I was more on the verge of, yes, I want him to, but with all this bullshit, I really don't at this point.
Exactly.
And I don't want a running back who's just going to decrease in 2 years and give him all this money and really just basically rob us.
Exactly. And this drama that he had, do you really want that continue for the rest of his career with the Steelers?
Exactly.
We can't have that with his offense, especially with Ben's time running out.
Yeah.
Because he still wants to try to get number 7.
Right.
Number 7 wants to get number 7 for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Right. Now, if we were to trade him, I would rather get an inside linebacker or a tight end because those are 2 positions that we really need to address.
And we're really lacking on.
And honestly, I don't think we need. I think we already have his replacement in James fucking Conner. Dude.
Exactly.
I know
if Bell's not going to show up, I say let James Conner be the next man up. And I definitely think, and me and my brother have said this multiple freaking times, we think James Conner could very well be the future running back for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
He absolutely has all the potential in the world.
Exactly. And he's got Jalen Samuels as a great backup. I mean, you can learn from Stephen Ridley as well, who's a pretty nice running back in himself.
Yeah, exactly. So just imagine, man.
So James Conner can really learn from Stephen Ridley, and he can really feed off of Jalen Samuels as well.
Exactly. So
He
it
can
just
feed off
fits,
this offense. It would be perfect for his young career.
And you look at James Conner, and you look at all the hype that he's had this preseason. You've heard nothing but positive about him.
Exactly.
You look at his body physique. You look at his work ethic. You look at his play on the field. I mean, look at the Packers game, and that's one game that really sticks out. Look how he ran the fucking ball, dude.
Exactly.
He looked fucking flawless, man. He's more aggressive. He's faster. His burst is insane.
And I said this multiple times. He's got the physique and the look of a Steelers running back.
Exactly.
So it just fits beautifully. Yeah.
Exactly.
It would just work out well.
And Conner, he just has all the potential in the world to steal Bell's job. And either way, if Bell signs the tag this week before the Browns game, I would still start Conner.
Yeah, exactly. Because you got to discipline Le'Veon Bell. You've been sitting out throughout the entire preseason, the offseason training shit.
OTA's training camp and preseason.
Yeah, exactly.
And everything. But you think you're gonna come back with open arms? No, fuck you.
Exactly. We're going to discipline you. Like, you got it. Like,
and
everything that you've been doing. I'm sorry. I'm so pissed off on Le'Veon Bell. I'm stuttering over my words. All right, let me try to rephrase this. Le'Veon Bell has skipped OTAs and the practice drills 2 years in a row now.
Yes.
2 years in a row now. We're not just gonna have him come back and welcome him back with open arms. No, we're not gonna do that.
No, and you look at James Conner. He has completely proven himself all throughout preseason, throughout OTAs, throughout training camp. So I would completely start him, and I have all the faith in the world in Conner. I think, honestly, I know some of you guys are saying, why the fuck would you trade Bell? We need him. No, the fuck we don't.
No, we don't.
Look at when he got injured when we signed DeAndre Williams. Look at what DeAndre Williams did. Our running game was completely flawless. It never missed a step. And Williams was, 32, 33 at the time?
Exactly.
And then you looked at when he got injured. We had Jordan Todman and what's his name?
Fitzgerald Toussaint.
And now it wasn't as effective, but we still did decent without Bell.
Exactly.
And then you look at James Conner. You look at how he's been doing. You've heard nothing but positive from him all fucking offseason and ever since preseason.
Exactly.
And you've seen it personally. We don't need Bell.
Exactly.
We don't need Bell. We don't fucking need him.
Like, seriously, a lot of Steelers fans are saying we need Bell. He's an effective player. Yes, he's an effective player, but we don't need him.
Yeah,
We've won games without him, and it's been proven.
Exactly. Dude, we went to the fucking we nearly went to the AFC Championship game without him before we lost. Dude, we were literally a fumble away from beating the fucking eventual Super Bowl 50 champions, the Denver Broncos. Now it's without Le'Veon Bell, dude.
And he will.
Seriously.
But mainly Le'Veon Bell. But that just goes to show you we can win without Le'Veon Bell.
And the way I see it, we have a more stronger offense now. We have a better offensive line. We have a better receiving core. We have a better coaching staff. A more aggressive. The coach staff is more aggressive. So if Bell comes back, I definitely see the Steelers saying, "Fuck you, you're not starting."
Exactly.
We're starting Conner.
Like, why should he receive his money if he's not going to show up at the facility?
Exactly.
Right before the season starts.
Exactly.
Like, why should he get his money? Hell no.
And yes, he is a very effective player for us on the field, and his versatility is fucking amazing. And he is probably the best back, probably even the best player in the league. But we can win without him. We have shown it. We have proven it. And Conner, he's young. He is fresh. He is hungry, dude.
He is.
And Bell is doing nothing but giving Conner the running back job. And he is going to take every single advantage because there's nothing stopping Conner at this point.
Exactly.
And Conner is definitely, and I can't wait to see what Conner does. And if he has a good performance here, there is no doubt in my fucking mind, Conner is the future at the running back position for the Pittsburgh Steelers. There's no doubt in my mind and no way anyone can fucking tell me otherwise.
Same
and
here.
This is one thing I'm extremely excited for about this game is to see how Conner does. Because I don't see Bell playing, nor do I think we should play him. Because this is a good test for Conner. And this is one game. If we lose because of him, what we fucking do? One game's not going to hurt us.
Right, exactly.
This is the first game. This is a good test to see how we will perform throughout the season.
Right.
Let Conner go. Let Conner show what he's made of. This is a true test for him, and I think he has all the potential in the world to really showcase everything and prove everyone wrong. And show that we don't need Bell, because we don't.
Exactly.
In this game, depending on Conner's performance, he will prove that.
Yep.
Guarantee you. And I know we went fucking 14 minutes talking about Bell when we should have been talking about the Steelers and Browns game, but this is a big discussion, and we just can't miss on it.
Right, exactly.
So
Le'Veon Bell, that's enough of Le'Veon Bell. He's a freaking jackass right now. But
trade him.
Yeah, seriously.
Trade him. Or retract from the tag.
Exactly.
Trade him, dude. Trade him to the best offer. Put him on the trade block. Get whatever offers you get. Honestly, I want to give a huge shout out to Renegade 412. I just saw your hate week. Phenomenal, by the way.
Absolutely.
We just saw it.
Phenomenal.
And you said do something similar to what the Bears did with Khalil Mack. We can get something great out of him.
I think he said something like this, like it's best to trade him now to get nothing later.
Of course. And look what we did with Martavis Bryant. Look what he's done now. It's great that we got something phenomenal out of him. We even got our future Mason Rudolph out of him.
Yeah.
And that's Martavis Bryant. Imagine what we can get out of fucking Le'Veon Bell, dude.
Exactly.
Seriously.
Exactly.
We have more benefit. We have more positive than negative at that point. So seriously. Anyway, guys.
That's enough for Le'Veon Bell talk. Now let's get into the game, and we're going to talk about the Cleveland Browns.
The Cleveland Browns, man.
There's no doubt, and there's no denying on what they've done in the offseason. All these trades, getting Jarvis Landry. You know, they just reinstated Josh Gordon. You know, I heard he's not going to start, but he's still an effective receiver still.
Yeah, I mean, you look
I don't mean to interrupt you, but they got Carlos Hyde. They got
Baker
Mayfield, Denzel Ward, Nick Chubb. You know, they've got these effective guys. They got Demarius Randall, you know.
You know, they have probably the most talented roster in this entire league, and I will give them credit for all the moves that they made. They have done good. But it's the fucking Cleveland Browns. When the fuck have they ever been anything? When was the last time they've been anything? When Bill Belichick was with them in 95? They've done nothing in 20 fucking years. Do you expect them to take advantage of this roster? Especially with the coaching staff they got. Hugh Jackson has been nothing the past 2 years. They got Todd fucking Haley. You know how negative we've been on Haley. Look what he did to our offense. He dragged this offense down for the Steelers.
And the only reason why he looked good was because of Ben.
Exactly.
Now he's got Tyrod Taylor. Who's not a bad quarterback in his own, but he ain't no Ben Roethlisberger.
Of course. No way in hell.
I don't even know how Baker Mayfield can make him look. I don't know. He's just a rookie.
Yeah.
He's just a rookie.
And I don't know who their defense coordinator is, but and I'll give them credit. Their defense is actually pretty good. You know, I like their defense. You know, they got a young, fast, physical, aggressive, hungry defense, man. They got a great secondary. They have a pretty good pass rush. You know, Myles Garrett, I think he's going to have a much better year.
I definitely think so.
I think he'll be a candidate for Defensive Player of the Year when it's all said and done, if he stays healthy. But, like you said, it's the Browns. You can't trust them.
You can't.
I will give them credit for all the moves that they've made, but I will not say anything positive about them until we actually see some progression on the field.
Yeah, because I'm always seeing these analysts saying the Browns are going to be the next big thing. How do you know that? Just because you got these big players? You got to see how they do on the field.
Yeah, I mean,
you could say the same thing for the Rams, but the Rams are good.
Yeah, and the
Browns aren't.
Yeah, and we saw a glimpse of what the Rams could be last year with fucking Sean McVay. Look what he did this year.
Yeah, exactly.
Unlike the Browns, we didn't see it. Dude, they didn't win a game last year.
Not one game.
So do you expect them to do better? I mean, I do expect them to do better, but I don't see them being like a wild card team or be like you said, the next big thing. I don't. I'm not going to say anything about them until I see some progression on the field.
Exactly.
You can't trust the Browns. It's the fucking Browns. They're the worst team in the fucking league. I'm sorry. And Browns fans, I'm sorry if I made you guys salty, but hey.
It's just
face the facts.
It's true. It's a known fact.
You guys
are nothing.
You guys got a phenomenal roster, but I don't see anything happening until I see actual progression.
Especially against the Pittsburgh Steelers of all teams.
Seriously. We own you guys. We own you fuckers.
We've owned you for 20 freaking years. We'll own you for 20 more.
Yeah. You guys haven't beat us since, what, 2014?
I think so.
And yes, you guys have a better roster, but I think you have a much worse coaching staff at this point.
Oh, absolutely. I think it just comes down to the coaches in general. But either way, it's the Browns.
It does. So, you know, I'm not going to jump on the fucking hype train until I actually see some progression from them.
I'm going to give it a good maybe 5, 6, or 7 weeks to see if I can see anything from the Browns. Then I'll give my final opinion.
Right. You know,
that's my opinion now. I just don't see anything right now of the Browns.
Right. And the thing is, I've kind of been, I'm not going to lie, I've been on their hype train for the past 2 years because when I saw Hugh Jackson come in, I'm like, you know what, I think he can turn this team around. And after seeing what he did the first year, you know, winning only one game, I think he did that intentionally so we can get a high draft pick and make these moves in what the hell, in free agency and eventually build his team up. Now that's what he did last year.
And last year they got 3 first-round picks
and they didn't win one fucking game. Now that could still be part of his plan, but who fucking knows? I've jumped off their hype. I'm off of that. I can't trust the Browns. I was actually positive about them. I thought that they could really build something nice and actually be good.
Exactly.
But they haven't really shown anything. They haven't shown any potential whatsoever.
They haven't. Now there are some players, you know, that I will say I'm a little nervous about looking, coming ahead of this game.
Their receiving core worries me a little bit.
Yes.
I will say that. Jarvis Landry is a fucking freak.
There's no doubt
Josh
about
Gordon,
it.
First of all, I'm not even sure if Josh Gordon's going to start.
Because Hugh Jackson said he's not starting, which I don't know why. I mean, it's Josh Gordon.
Right, but Josh Gordon, we know what he can do on the field. He's a beast. He can be the next big thing. Or he could have been the next big thing if it wasn't for his fucking weed issues, but,
I mean, Carlos Hyde's a good running back, in our rushing defense, I really hope that they step up in this game. Especially with the absence of Ryan Shazier.
Yeah, of course. And that's one thing that worries me is the run defense, and that's something that I'm going to look forward to is the run defense. But speaking of the rushing game for the Browns, and I still laugh at them for fucking grabbing Carlos Hyde when they had Saquon Barkley in their fucking laps.
They literally did.
Really?
I mean, I can understand getting your franchise quarterback.
But the thing is, they could have traded up from the number 4th pick. Now, of course, they want to get a defender in Denzel Ward, which I can't blame because I think Ward is a great talent. I can't blame him for that, and I think defense wins championships.
Right.
But I don't know.
But speaking of Denzel Ward, that's another guy, that's going to be really interesting because he's going to be going up against AB and, of course, Juju Smith-Schuster.
Of course. I just realized we are wearing AB and Juju Smith-Schuster.
So it's going to be a tough It's going to be a tough battle for Denzel Ward, especially since he's a rookie.
Of course. Most things I'm looking forward to is the main thing is actually Connor. I really want to see him prove people wrong that we don't need Bell, and I really think that he can prove that, and I really hope he does. Another one is to see how our offense does with Randy Fichtner at OC. I think he is going to shed some new light and give a new lease on life for this offense.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to hold anything back like Haley did, and especially since he has a much better relationship and more chemistry with Ben, I think that will really help this offense overall.
Exactly.
So that's one thing I'm looking forward to. The main thing I'm really looking forward to, though, is this defense.
Exactly.
The run defense and the secondary.
Especially the run defense.
Yeah, I want to see how this defense does without Seju. Now, we saw a little glimpse of what it was last year, but I want to see if they've evolved on something, Especially the tackling. This is something that has been around the wire all offseason, is that the Steelers have been fixing and working on their tackling. So I want to see if that is true. And
right.
We saw a little bit of a potential against the Titans in the preseason of what this defense can do. But I want to see what they can truly do in the regular season.
Right, exactly.
Against full starters and everything. So that's going to be interesting to see.
And I do want to see more from Artie Burns because
Yes.
This is really, I would say this year would be a make and break year for him because Cameron Sutton's like really breathing down his neck. And
Yeah,
we know
he
the
is.
talent that Sutton possesses.
Of course.
So I really want to see how Burns can do right here, especially going against Jarvis Landry and maybe even Josh Gordon.
Of course.
Or whoever the other receiver is.
Right, and of course
Since they don't have Corey Clement anymore.
Right.
Corey Clement. Corey Coleman.
Yeah,
I'm thinking of the Eagles game. Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
But yeah, I understand though. But especially since Joe Hayden is going up against the former team once again, so that should be interesting, and that should really help Burns as well because every corner needs someone to feed off of.
Right. Exactly.
So and I agree. I think this is a make or break here for Burns, and it's going to be interesting to see how he progresses and develops, as well as this entire defense. So that's really what I'm looking forward to the most is the defense.
And I do want to see how Terrell Edmonds does because I do believe that Morgan Burnett is suffering an injury.
Yeah, however,
I'm not sure. I don't mean to cut you off again, but I'm not sure if Edmonds is going to be starting because of Burnett's injury.
Yeah, I did hear that Burnett did return to practice. He did practice in the first practice of the season. So I don't know if he's playing. I don't know if he is. I don't know. Either way, I think Edmonds still needs to be prepared for that because we don't really know if Burnett is starting or not.
Right,
So
but we heard a lot from Edmonds, in OTAs and minicamp and even preseason. He was like a star in preseason.
Yeah, he really showed a lot.
So he's showing some glimpses of being a potential star for this defense and for the Steelers and the NFL.
Of course. So that's something that he has to really be prepared for. That's something that he needs to step up. Mike Tomlin always says next man up, and those two guys could be Connor and Terrell Edmonds of this game.
Exactly.
And I'm excited to see what they both can do if Edmonds plays, which I'm going to say he will. I think we're going to be very precautious about Burnett because we were when he got injured after the first few days in training camp.
Yeah.
We were very precautious and we kept him out for about a week or two. So we might be doing the same thing with Morgan Burnett, which I wouldn't mind because this really gives Edmonds a little bit of a spotlight to see what he can truly do.
Exactly.
So, anyway, that's the video, guys. That's something we're most looking forward to. Give us what you guys think about Bell in the game and what you guys are most looking forward to in the comments below. Holy shit, man.
Stairway to 7 continues once again.
Yes.
It definitely does. And I do want to say this real quick before we do get out of here. And we give a couple shout-outs, to Steel City Disciples. We'll get into that real quick. Huge shout-outs to Steel City Disciples, of course, to Renegade 412, Steel Maiden, Steel Jedi, Steel Jackson, Bruin Steel, Steel Logic, MacBain 70, Inside Wrestling Truth, Lady Steel, Eric of Steel, and Steel Cypher. Those are the Steel City Disciples. Huge shout out to all of them. Please check out all their channels. They put up great Steelers content, and they will be doing that throughout the entire 2018 NFL regular season. So if you can, please check it out. We will greatly appreciate it.
Right, and if we accidentally missed out on anybody, we apologize, but you guys know who you are. So huge shout out to Steel City Disciples. Keep doing what you guys are doing. You guys are awesome. And definitely check out their channels. They're going to be doing some exciting shit this year, so definitely check them out.
Yeah, but I do want to say this. Stairway 7 continues once again. This team has all the potential in the world to be a Super Bowl champs. No
Absolutely.
doubt in anybody's mind.
They should be the favorites to win the Super Bowl this year.
But it's like each and every year, probably since Mike Tomlin's been the head coach, we've been losing to under 500 teams.
Yeah, negative teams. Like last year with the Bears, or usually with the Jets.
We had trouble going up against the Colts, and they didn't even have Andrew Luck.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're going up against teams like Tampa Bay, who have Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Trap game, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe the
Raiders, because the Raiders are, what the fuck is John Gruden doing? So Raiders might be another one. Maybe even the Broncos. Maybe let's see, who else we got? Depending on how they perform, maybe the Panthers, maybe, that's only a few teams that come to mind. But
there could be some big trap games, and we have all the potential in the world, but we're losing the trap games. How are we supposed to be a big threat and be potential Super Bowl champions if we're losing to terrible, suckish, under 500
Exactly.
teams?
It makes us look weak. It makes us look stupid.
Like, we can take on, teams like the Patriots and the Packers and the freaking Vikings and maybe even the Rams, but we can't take care of, for example,
garbage.
The Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
For example, right there.
And that's one game that worries me, is that we have to...
this game right here could very well be a trap game. We don't know.
Yeah.
We really don't know.
Because this is in Cleveland, and, and I'm assuming because this is week 1, we ought to, game plan well. This is the first game of the season. We gotta give a little glimpse of what we can do this year.
Right, exactly. But I just lost my words. Yeah.
I get what you're saying, though. Basically, what you're saying is that you basically don't play down the competition.
Exactly. You shouldn't. You really shouldn't. How are we supposed to be a threat?
Right. And basically, I think what you're trying to say is take one.
Exactly. Take one game at a time, and
treat every game like
it's the freaking Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly.
Treat every game like it's the Super Bowl. Because I don't want to end up being like the San Diego Chargers back within their prime when they had LaDainian Tomlinson, that big dynamic team back in 2006 to, let's say, all the way to 2010 when they had that great dynamic team. They were looking to be Super Bowl champions, but they could never get the job done. I don't want to be like that kind of team.
Yeah.
We have to get the job done.
Exactly. And, dude, we have a lot of fucking motivation and influence. We got the unfortunate passing of Dan Rooney. We got Ron Shazier's injury. We got to let him hoist that fucking trophy up, man.
We have to.
If we win the Super Bowl this year, there's no doubt in my mind he should be the very first person to hoist that thing up on that stage.
Exactly. We're playing for not only Dan Rooney, we are not only playing for Ron Shazier, but, of course, we are playing for Steelers Nation. Steelers Nation is thriving, wanting number 7. We have this talent this year.
We need it, dude. We need to capitalize. We have probably the best roster we've not ever seen, but, in a while at least.
Exactly.
Ever since that dynamic defense back in 2008, back since that 2010 team.
Exactly. We cannot be losing to terrible, suckish teams, and we have to get the job done. Take one game at a time and treat every game like it's basically your last. Make it a great performance and treat it like it's the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
And then get on to the Super Bowl and get number 7. And hoist that Lombardi.
And like you said, take one game at a time. Because last year, obviously, we didn't do that with the fucking Jags, and they took advantage of it. We can't make that same mistake. We can't.
Exactly.
This season is too what the hell is it?
Valuable.
Yeah, exactly.
Too valuable for this team after all the motivation that we got.
Yeah, we need, take one game at a time, treat it like the Super Bowl, and just be smart and be careful. This is a big season. This is a very important season. Treat it like that.
Exactly.
Seriously.
But anyway, guys, that's the video. Hope you guys enjoy. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below.
And we apologize for I don't mean to cut you off. We apologize for a long-ass video, but when it comes to Le'Veon Bell, shit. So
exactly.
We apologize.
But again, huge shout out to the Steel City Disciples. Please check out all their channels. We would greatly appreciate it. And comment, subscribe. We'll see you later.
Peace! By the way, fuck the Browns.